Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome to your next Android tutorial. Now for this video I actually decided to do some debugging tutorials because there's some really cool stuff you can do with debugging on Android. And in this video we're going to do what's called a Traceview debug, and in the next one we're going to do a normal, we're going to show you how breakpoints work. So how the Traceview works is this is an Android tool and it's truly awesome. So in order to run a Traceview, I'm going to run the application, this one here, this Pixel Enemy one, which I'm actually working on at the moment. So I'm going to run that on my device. Now this is actually installed on my phone, so you don't get to see the app itself, but I can show you what I mean by it. In fact, I'll run it on an emulator. I'll run it on a 7-inch tablet. Start. Scale displays, we'll say it'll be 70 inches, Jesus Christ, 7 inches. Okay. So it'll start up now. When it's started up, we'll jump back. Okay, so my emulator has started. I had to create a new one. The old one bugged out for some bizarro reason. Something about window out of place. Anyway, so when this is started up, I'll show you how to run a system trace on the app itself, or on the process. So it's going to take a bit of time to install, and let's load up. Come on, starting activity it's saying. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be laggy as bejesus. Okay, so here it is here. It's the side menu. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a list of the Pixel Enemy YouTube videos on this by simply drawing in and clicking Pixel Enemy. We'll see what takes the longest amount of time to execute. So we want to go into our DDMS over here. So go into your DDMS perspective. If you can't see it, go Window, Open Perspective, and it'll be in there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to, that's my phone, we're going to go to the emulator and we're going to pick the process running. Okay. Now you're going to click this little thing here, the 3 lines with the red button like a record button. This captures a system-wide trace, so tracing. So now we're profiling. So if I drag into side view, I'll just click the damn button, it'll slide in itself, okay? Click that. And the videos would appear here once they get around to it. There we go. Don't remember how the emulator now is hilariously slow. So now I'm going to hit stop. Method profiling. No, stop it. It's not feckin' stopping. There we go, now it's stopped. Right, didn't feckin' work. Right, we'll try again. It works fine on my phone. Tell you what, we'll run the application on my phone. Okay, it's up on my phone already. DDMS, Samsung GTI 9300, down to twisted.com. There we go. Start profiling. And stop. Okay, so now we've stopped. Now what it's doing is it's pulling in the stuff, so we get all this nonsense here on the screen. So what the profiling actually does is it tells you how much every operation takes, and it gives you all the threads here, look. So here, as you can see, you can tell what everything's doing, and it also shows off, look. So it will inform you as to what operations are taking the longest, okay? So if we look here, look, all this stuff, we have all this background stuff here. See, look here, look, it says at the top, if you can't see it, it's very hard to turn the viewing up here, but it says Android database, SQLized SQL connections, native execute for last row inserted ID. So that, I believe, okay, now if you click, or if you, that I believe is it inserting data into a database. So this is the main thread, or the UI thread. You never want to block this up. You want to have as much on these threads as possible. So if we look at this here, look, and I click this, you can see the way it shows up a grey area here where my cursor is. That's how much time that took to execute, which is about 100 milliseconds. So I'm going to look down through here and see if I can find any of the methods that I wrote. So here, look at this, look, this one here is a layout. So this is the Android device laying out all the different parts of the app. So look, it's drawing. Now a lot of this drawing is the secondary threads loading up images. So that'll be all this stuff here working. This here, look, this JSON token or next string. So clearly that's where I'm parsing my JSON. And this is really cool because you can tell how much it's going. In fact, the sliding out of the drawer, there's the drawer slide out callback, view position change, and it's redrawing on the screen. You really can do some super cool stuff here. So this one here, so this little green bit here, that little green bit there that's flickering, that's very light amount, that's actually what's it called, that's the parsing the HTML, or the response from the HTML connection. So this tells you very quickly which ones are going and what things take the longest amount of time to execute. This can be very handy because if your app feels to be running very sluggishly and you see a big block and it's like a method you have and it's blocking the UI thread along here, that is quite frustrating to deal with. So this is the system trace. It tells you how long things take to execute, and you can see, you know, this one here is that's just string mapping. That's forming a SQL connection. But don't forget now, it could be forming a SQL connection and doing a different method. So your method could be creating a database connection, calling a loader, so the loaders to create and the content providers to be loaded and the database to be loaded, and it goes down along through all the levels of the app or of the system. This little tiny split here, look, is canvas to ND to draw. So this is drawing something. This one here is that. Let's see what these here are. So this is a connection in there. So that's blue one. Okay, wait. So I believe all these extra threads here are created with the modern async task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe these are the network threads. And there's lots of other cool stuff in here as well. So you can find some really cool things wrong with your app in here if it feels sluggish or anything like that. And this debugging method is super cool. So that's it for this video, guys. That's Traceviews. Next video we're going to go with breakpoints. And that breakpoints are a standard thing in most programming languages, and I'll show you how they work on Android in particular. So anyway, guys, as always, wait till the next video.